Yo, what's up? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Cool Widows Podcast. My name is DJ Frikkiao, and of course Infmaous. And today we got an incredible and amazing guest that also happens to be my friend, DJ EDDY G, aka DJ Confetti, aka I own like 50 clubs, aka my way.
He's only your friend. He's our friend.
Well, I'm talking for myself right now.
You're doing the first person dialogue right
Exactly,
now?
first person dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're gonna get right into it because and what's your name again, guy? I'm sorry.
Infmaous.
Before we get started, big shout out going out to Patu for sponsoring our throats.
Yes. Patu is what makes this podcast happen. Not because they're paying for the podcast, they're really not. But because they make
want them to.
Yeah, we want them to, and Patu makes us comfortable to speak our minds.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Patu.
Yeah.
If Patu is for you.
Alright, so let's get into it. The reason why we invited this gentleman right here, by the way, thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with us.
Absolutely.
We extremely appreciate it. And today we want to talk about the music industry. I know that a lot of people have said, oh, the DJ topic and whatever is very local, but it's really not, because I'm pretty sure that everywhere there's a nightclub, a promoter, a DJ, they're all having the same problem, right, Freak?
Yeah, there's like an epidemic right now going on, probably around the country, maybe even around the world, because the nightlife landscape changed. You know, we went from having one promoter kind of do the party, and now you have a zillion promoters, in the market, and so things changed so much, and you had to kind of keep evolving around the whole industry and moving around.
Right.
But with that change, there's come a lot of conflict, a lot of questions, a lot of confusion. So we're here to just talk about all this shit today.
And
it's gonna get turned up.
And being the fact that Eddie's a club owner, we just want to bombard this guy with a kabillion questions because I'm a DJ, he's a DJ, he's a promoter.
But wait a minute, but Eddie sits on the three sides.
Right. But as far as like the business is, he's more involved in the whole business aspect of the club side, no? Like,
and everything.
Listen, I sit down in three chairs. I sit down on the DJ side.
Damn, so your ass is huge then.
Of course I do.
Damn.
And well, one of us.
Even the dog said, "Yeah, I think that big ass."
The dog is like, yes, I agree with that.
Well, listen, the key to the success that I've had is because I've been able to sit in three chairs, which is I sit in the position of a DJ, which is my passion, what got me into the industry. Then I got myself into being the club owner, but then at the same time too, being the promoter. So I get to compress all three of them, and I'm able to sit in different, when I talk to different people, depending what industry they're in, I'm able to relate to their problems, or to read the bullshit immediately and be able to say, you know what, you're whack, get the fuck out.
True. Yeah. So Infamous, I know that this topic is extremely sensitive on all of us, but you, in general, you had all these questions, so do you want to take the floor and
there's a lot
ask this guy real quick?
I feel like in my circle, like for example, you were more of the headliner. Since I met you, you've been trying to, not trying, but I met you already doing 12:30 and on the show. I'm the resident.
12:30 is the time that he gets on, right?
What's up?
12:30 is the time.
12:30 is the time.
Well, I'm not trying to be funny. You're trying to get people.
Well, to be honest, even to make it sound older, even before when I first started getting into it, this is I got into it right before Serato blew up, or when it started blowing up. I would just do Portal for the laptop, so I still brought CDs and stuff or whatever. But even the headliner didn't get that late. Like, you still show up a little bit early to check out the room and everything else before you got on. There was no such Hollywood 12:40, almost 1 in the morning DJ for.
Oh no, I gotta be Hollywood right now.
Well, now you gotta be you got the glasses on and everything, that, But like, there was no half hour in and out and that's it or whatever, So my thing, I feel like I'm in that realm for the voiceless, the guys that aren't surrounded by the radio guys and they kind of don't get it. So they're still just trying to put their name on a flyer. And they're still trying to wonder why you guys could pay X amount of dollars for this person or a host or a headliner, and I'm getting cut. And I've been DJing since the club opened all the way to the very end. So there's a lot of frustration with that.
So basically, from a DJ's point of view, you like what's your quote like?
From an open.
No, wait. But let's take that.
So let me ask you quick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, no problem.
Do you consider yourself an opener or a headliner?
I consider myself both. To be honest with you, like it doesn't matter where you put me at. And I'm at a point in my career now where I'd rather open up. Because like I know what I'm I know how I'm
So,
building a
so
party.
personally, I got a promoter. That's your limitation right there to me. I'm like, you're already putting yourself in that bucket to me. So that already tells me that that's as far as you see yourself. So that's where I'm gonna put you.
But explain to me
But
the
if you tell me-
headliner that doesn't know how to.
I'm gonna give you an example. Art has value in different angles, right? In different ways. I mean, let's use a stupid one that I use all the time. There's a pair of shoes. Ones are made by Louis Vuitton. They're worth $1,000 a pair. And then you got Payless shoes, which does the same job, but it's just shoes, right? Why is one pair worth $50 and the other one's worth $1,000? It's because the guy that made the one that's worth $1,000, he was artistic about it. He learned how to brand it. He learned how to make it something that people wanted. The other one, the shoes, they both do the same job, and they both could be the same color. But the one guy took the time to travel, find the right exact leather or material to make the best shoe possible that everybody wanted, versus the other person just went, called somebody in China, got a shitload of fabric and material, and just made a whole bunch of shoes.
So basically, what you're saying is the Louis Vuitton is the headliner, and
Exactly.
Payless
No, what he's really saying is that this nigga's from China.
No, but what I was gonna say is, how many? You as a promoter, you as a club owner.
No wonder I couldn't understand what the fuck you were saying.
No, I'm giving you the both. I'm giving you the both angles here. What I'm
We were supposed to be serious.
Oh yeah.
what I'm trying to say here is that it's the most important thing here is that when you were a DJ and you felt like you had what it takes to be a headliner, then you should have never put yourself in a position that you could be an opener, because the promoter, it's gonna hire the DJ that has the most following, and it's gonna pay the DJ that has the most following. Now you could probably be better than the headliner, but what the probably big difference here is that the guy who's getting more money to be the headliner spending more effort on the branding himself versus being the better at scratching. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth, I'm an owner. I don't give a fuck about scratching. I don't give a fuck about how beautiful you can make a fucking set look if you come in with turntables or no turntables. I don't give a shit about that. I care about how many people in that room is when you're a DJ. Because your skills is an art, and everybody wants to be compensated for their art. But if you haven't taken the time to make your art something that people are willing to pay for and see, then to the owner and to the promoter, you're just that other DJ.
Alright, so
Right.
I want to butt in.
I'm so happy you're here. I'm so fucking happy you're here. Because this whole thing came up from this conversation that we had offline, and we were not recording it. So, we were talking in the car, and these guys, I felt a little attacked. So I'm like,
I honestly
come through.
Before I lose my train of thought, I feel that there's a disconnect. There's a lot of truth to what you're saying, but there's also a disconnect on you being promoter / owner of a club to when you used to be a DJ. And I am going to try my best to explain why.
I'm still a DJ.
He's still a DJ.
No. I'm saying that.
Meaning from the business point of view.
Yeah,
right now, artistically he's a DJ, but business-wise he has three hats.
The previous comment that he made, there was a disconnect. And I'm like I said, I'm going to try my best to explain why I feel that way. You mentioned that it's about bringing people. Okay, it's about the DJ that you book. You're paying an X amount of dollars, whether it's $5, whether it's $10. Let's say that the opening DJ gets $10 and the headliner gets $100. Okay, so when I came up, we known each other for a very, very, very long time. And you see my rises and my falls and my rises and my falls. It's been a roller coaster. And when I came up, I came from an era that there was barely any DJs, and the reason why is because for you to be a DJ, you have to spend a lot of money to become a DJ. Now anybody can become a DJ because it's very accessible. Before we had to buy records weekly. I used to spend about $500 weekly just to buy music. Now that doesn't exist. So with that being said, to me, what you said is right. It's about, if I'm going to pay $100, again, opener $10, headliner $100. If you're going to pay $100 for a headliner, I feel that if the comment that you just made that if I'm paying you $100, you should bring me $200 worth of people because that's what I'm paying
all right,
for.
So let me jump in real quick with
Go
that,
ahead.
right? So, all right, you know, whatever. 10 years ago, before social media exploded.
No, I'm talking about now.
No. But you went back. You went back when you came up when you started, right?
Right. No, I was just creating a story.
Right. So I want to start. I want to kind of catch up from that point to now.
Okay.
So when you started, you're right. You had to spend money on buying records. You had to spend money on needles. You had to spend. Well, you still got to do that anyway. But you had to spend money on getting the music. Right. There was no laptop. You had to do all that stuff yourself. Right. Now, the one thing that changed the game, fast forward now to 2017, is social media. Right. Social media, image, because now people not gonna see you. Now they could access you really easy.
Correct.
You know, before you had to pay for your own website. You had to host your own website. So people had to go there and you had to spend all that money. But now,
which I did that.
right. So now anybody really can brand themselves, get a logo, brand themselves. So the one difference that you're not that you're not really comparing, but that you're not adding to it, is how the social media landscape now is available to everybody. And now,
Correct.
So you got a 17-year-old kid who is in a basement whose Instagram game is better than yours.
Correct.
You know, and whose Snapchat game is better than yours.
Correct.
And guess what? He may bring out 100 people where you may bring out 50.
Okay.
So from a business point of view, not an artistic point of view, right? It's like, shit, I'm a promoter. I'm going to hire this guy because he's going to bring me X amount of people. He's going to be my headliner. Am I going to hire this guy because he's going to bring me this many people? He's my opener.
Okay.
So to the point that he was saying is that
I understand where you're going with, but I still didn't finish my point. So
okay, go ahead.
So that what you're saying is
oh man, this is gonna
no.
And there's another factor.
But
and
wait,
there's another factor.
I almost feel that what you said was irrelevant because I still didn't get
I mean,
to what I was saying.
it
is relevant, but not relevant to what I was saying.
No metas la mano cuando tú estás hablando que la pones en la cara.
Okay,
but I'm gonna give you another thing that nobody here is talking
but
about.
let me,
no, and this right here is gonna fuck everybody up.
But let's go point by point because I don't want to lose my train of thought. Well,
yeah, but I want you to also, with your train of thought,
go ahead.
include this.
Go ahead.
People party at different ages. Okay, I'm realistic in one point. I used to be a one that I used to DJ almost every night at my clubs. I'm 40.
Okay.
My strength today is I want to make money. Do I want to be the guy behind the DJ booth and try to be the man, or do I want to be the nigga on Monday morning picking up my fucking bag of money?
Yeah.
So the problem here is that as we had an art when we were 21, that we were buying the music and being the one nigga that was hot. These kids today, they don't have to work as hard as we do. One, because they're 21 and we're already getting either 40 or close to the 40s.
Right.
So if I'm trying to target and market to the new wave as a club owner and as a promoter, am I still going to be working with everybody who's not even the scene anymore when half of their friends are married with kids, have mortgages, are in a whole different world? The truth of the matter is that times change. And I know we want to blame the whole, all the work that we did, but the problem is that something stepped in, which it was Serato. Serato changed the industry, which you were one of the first ones that, listen, I learned about Serato because of you.
Yeah, me too.
But the same time too, everybody who had the fever of being a DJ became accessible to it with a snap of a finger.
Absolutely.
Which back in our days, it required for us to buy our first little mixer with a turntable, and get lucky we could save enough money for the second one. And then on top of that, keep being an important DJ in the scene because we had the hottest songs. I remember I used to book you when you used to walk into Gogo Wongo with crates of music. All those things change. The problem is that we're not adjusting, or the today's DJ's not adjusting to realities, and everybody's blaming a whole bunch of different angles. But nobody's really pointing the real problem out, which is technology fucked everybody up.
A lot of shit.
Right, but I still feel that I still didn't get to my point, and what you're saying is totally relevant, but not to what I'm trying to say.
All right, so go.
So I'm trying to catch up because now it's like so much has happened that it's like.
You know what it is, nigga? we even the playing field now.
No,
Now
no,
it's two
we-
against two.
shit, yeah.
Now it's two
how
against
can you
two.
even the playing field how can you even the playing field if I didn't even if you didn't even know what I was about to say? Because you didn't say anything about what I was about to say,
Alright.
and you didn't even address anything that I was about to say.
Alright.
So the playing field hasn't been even.
Okay.
Where I was going, I was talking about the money difference. Again, I'm because you know that like 10 minutes went by or something. $5 for the opener. $100 for the headliner.
$10. See,
$1 for the
you fucking up already, man.
$10 for the
You're already
opener.
coming through.
I-
It was $10 and I was $5.
10 and 100.
You see, that's the fucking problem, man.
Listen, that's your problem. Anyway, and that's my whole point. You know, so much time, so much space went by that it's like I'm trying to catch up even to myself because it was such a.
Nigga, we're old.
No, I'm not saying that.
We are old.
Listen, that's the way you feel. That's the way you feel. Nigga. I'm good. Anyway, so so the point I was trying to say is like, yes, you make total sense. Before, I used to buy records, and that was the way, you know, I stayed relevant. I used to buy records, and I used to play good music, and that's when people came to my parties. Now, when I go to the parties, you know, every music is very accessible. So now I replace me spending money on records. So now I got to spend it on my marketing, whatever it is that I got to do.
Right.
Some of the guys from my era, they got lucky and they landed jobs on radio and stuff like that. So these platforms are creating this marketing for them.
Correct.
Because let's
Correct.
keep it 100. The top guys on the radio, their marketing game suck. You go on their Instagram account and they posting pictures on, they're reposting jokes, and that's facts. That's facts.
So are they Payless sneakers?
Huh?
Are they Payless?
They are Payless sneakers.
So why are y'all marketing
Wait,
Louis Vuitton?
But no, they are Payless sneakers being sold in a very high-end brand store. So in other words, you know, the
That's a good
customer,
analogy.
the
I like
customer is being
Yeah,
confused.
I was waiting
for it. I was waiting for it.
now,
That's very smart.
So now here's my question that I want to get to. At the end of the day, like you said, it's all about the bag of money. Okay, it's all about the bag of money.
Collect
yes
it.
or no? It's all about the bag of money.
Secure the bag.
Yeah, you gotta secure the bag. You told me once, I'm not gonna throw a party and hire an artist that costs $100,000.
I don't even broken favors.
And I'm only going to make $100,001. I'm not in that business.
I'm not in the business to be broken famous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
You gotta
Exactly. You're not in the business to be
Exact
broken famous. Right.
I'll do it by exact
So being the fact that I'm going to use your words, so here's my question: why, if DJ number one is the hottest guy and he brings the most people, why are you bringing him to the hottest night that you have at your club